Gorée Island, Senegal. This is the house of slaves and its door of no return. The point where millions of slaves were sold and shipped to British, Dutch, French, Spanish, and Portuguese colonies around the world. Centuries later, in 2007, the United Nations General Assembly agreed to establish a permanent memorial on the grounds of the United Nations in honor of the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade.
We got our emancipation in 1838, but here we are, and you still have people falling prey to human trafficking and to modern-day slavery.
During the past 2 years, some 310 contestants submitted their proposals. 16 made the initial cut.
Up to that stage, this was a blind competition. We knew nothing about the participants. And from that blind competition, we were able to choose 7 people, and then we were informed who they were. And I tell you, there were some surprises.
An architecture student, famous sculptors, and experienced architects. Before entering the judges' chamber, this is what the 7 had to say.
To get to this stage is already incredible for me.
We put a lot of effort for this project. We hope to win.
I have butterflies in my stomach, yes. This is maybe one of the most interesting days in my life.
This is something which is, in a lot of ways, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something which is going to last for generations. It's going to impact on so many people's lives, not only spiritually and emotionally, but also in an educational capacity as well. So, obviously, we're looking forward to hopefully being able to be chosen for this.
Je crois que ça va passer très vite quand on va parler des idées. Je crois que ça.
I'm just very enthusiastic about the project, and I'm excited to be here.
On est effectivement un peu nerveux, mais dans le bon sens du terme, parce qu'on est nerveux parce qu'il y a beaucoup d'enjeux derrière ce projet-là, et qu'on pense et on espère avoir fait le bon projet. Donc on aimerait que le jury puisse entendre bien ce qu'on veut faire passer par cette œuvre-là, et c'est là où est notre nervosité.
Nervous, anxious, and excited. The finalists weren't even sure what the judges were looking for.
I have to look at an inner voice that tells me that this is what the children and the future generations would like. And I listen to that inner voice to make my selection.
The whole thing is to select a monument that has aesthetical value, that has appealing value, that will appeal to the viewer.
I was primarily interested in identifying a piece that spoke directly to the experience of the transatlantic slave trade and the significance of that trade.
The big challenge for me was to find something that spoke to both things. The tragedy itself, which requires a memorial in a more traditional sense, and something that's aspirational, something that looks towards the future and that deals with the whole question of hope, or that things are going to improve, that things will become better. It's how do you combine those two sentiments in the single monument?
It has to be the one that will really inspire thought-provoking ideas, make you step back and say, oh my God, is that really what happened? And I knew which one would be the right one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce that the winning design for the permanent memorial is Mr. Rodney Leon's Ark of Return.
The design will undoubtedly serve to inspire the many persons who view the memorial and remind us to never allow such crimes against humanity ever again.
We must not forget that human decency, bravery, and ingenuity led to the break-in of the shackles of slavery and burdens of bigotry.
It's important now that we have come to the end. We have this wonderful project, a monument by an architect, American architect, Leon, which presents, I think, a very symbolic impression about slavery. It's the ship that is transporting, but it is not only this. I think the fact that it's white, that it's from marble, it gives also another message. It's on one side, it's a message about history, but the other side is a message about the future, a message about human dignity, a message about hope.
A descendant of slaves shipped to Haiti from the coast of Africa, Rodney Leon says now the challenge begins to create the final work of art.
The prize money is wonderful. It's going to allow us to be able to, get additional space and resources and be able to mobilize the way that we need to mobilize.
It was very important to set a symbolic gesture, a sign here at United Nations headquarters to commemorate the victims of transatlantic slave trade. And through that experience, be reminded of the atrocities committed, and at the same time to make sure that events like this would not occur again.
By breaking the silence that has covered this bleak period of history, and by honoring the victims, the memorial will also serve as a call to action to ensure that this tragedy is never repeated.
The Arc of Return, a stark contradiction to the door of no return.